Hi, welcome to Tips and Tricks, how to accompany yourself while singing. My name is Anna Dalby. So I had someone ask me questions about how to accompany yourself while singing and using the accordion. And so the biggest thing when you're one person singing and one person playing the accordion is that the accordion is a very loud instrument, and it's probably going to be louder than your voice, or it definitely can be louder than your voice. So you need to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing on the accordion doesn't drown out the singing so that no one can hear it. So there are a few things to think about. First of all, when I do this, I don't like playing the melody on the accordion because I find that hides the melody that I'm singing. And so what I like to do is I like to play chords in the left hand, and then I'll use the right hand to do some padding, which is to say that I'm playing the chords as well with my right hand, but I'm doing it fairly lightly. So to illustrate this, I thought we could maybe look at Don't Worry, Be Happy, which is a very simple song. It only has 3 chords. It's got C, D minor, and F, and then it goes back to C. And then that middle 4-chord progression, if you will, just repeats throughout the song. So C, D minor, F, C, C, D minor, F, C, right? Okay, so the very first thing that you need to know is what notes are in these chords, right? And for any chords that you want to know, you can look them up, but you know, so for a C chord, for example, the notes are C, E, G, right? And then a D minor chord, D, F, A, and then the F chord is F, A, C, like that, and then back to the C, right? Now, when you play these chords, or these notes that make up the chords, you can play them in different inversions. That means, you know, the order of the notes, as long as you have those 3 notes, it doesn't matter which order you're playing them in. When you start doing this, if this is new to you, I would recommend that you generally play the chords in root position. And the reason for that is that you need to know what notes are in these chords. Like, that needs to be automatic in your head. So you need to learn that first. So by just focusing on learning the chords in root position, you would definitely learn what the notes are that make up the chord, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to play it. And then as you get further, then you can start thinking about different inversions, right? So if we're playing Don't Worry, Be Happy then, right? We have a very light left hand like this, just because, again, you don't want to be really loud like this, because then you're going to drown out the singing voice, right? So left hand is light and the right hand is light, and so it would be something like this, right? Here's a little song I wrote, you might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. So you notice that my hand is really light here in the right hand. If I make this heavier, I might drown out the singing. So if it's like this, right, you can tell that that's going to be so loud that it's going to be hard for me to sing over it. So the right hand should be really light. Now, which register you choose also impacts this. You can play the chords anywhere, right? Like, you can play the C chord here. Here's a little song I wrote. That works. Or here. Here's a little song I wrote. Right? But if you pick a different register, let's say the bassoon, right? This might be really loud and low. And so to suit my voice, I would probably go up here, right? Here's a little song I wrote, you might want to sing it note for note. And if I pick something else, like let's say the violin, I might even be able to get away with something like this, like just letting it ring, as long as I don't make it too loud, right? Like, I don't want that, because that's going to drown out my voice as well, right? So here's a little song I wrote, you might want to sing it note for note, don't worry, right? something like that could work as well. I mean, depending on the song. I think that for this particular song, because such a big part of it is that groovy rhythm, you do need to do like more of the bouncy padding. So that's one way of doing it. The second way of accompanying yourself while singing is that, again, you'll play the chords on the left hand, and then you'll use the right hand in all those gaps that you have between the singing. So when I'm not singing, you can fill that in with some notes, perhaps from the chord. So what I mean by that is that you can just like play like a little, you know, like that. So like here, here's a little song I wrote, you might want to sing it note for note, don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble, and when you worry you make it double, don't worry, be happy. And then when you get to that other part, like, you can either sing that ooh, or you can play it, right? So then the accordion can shine a little more, right? Right? So there are lots of options like that. And then you can combine these two methods. You can have some padding as well as some fills, right? Which I actually think I did during the fill section, but you know, so it could be something like this, right? Here's a little song I wrote, you might want to sing it note for note, don't worry, be happy, right? Something like that, and you can play around with that as much as you want. Right, so those are, in my opinion, the main ways to accompany yourself while singing. Now, it's a little bit different if you're trying to accompany a big group. So let's say that you're doing a sing-along or something like that. And especially if there isn't, you know, someone who's, you know, with a microphone who's really leading the sing-along, you will make sure that everyone gets roped in and is singing the whole melody correctly at the right pitch in time with what you're playing on the accordion. I mean, that's a pretty tall order, but in those cases I might actually play the melody because then there are many people singing, and so you really need that melody to carry, and then, you know, I would probably sing along with it as well, and then hope that people join in and sing more or less in tune with what I'm doing, right? So that's a little bit different when you're talking about a group like that. What else? Someone also asked if there were like special exercises for how to learn the chords, and I'm a big fan of applied learning. And so what I mean by that is that I really want to learn things while playing. I don't just want to sit around and learn how to play different chords just for the sake of it. So what I would do is I would pick a song that I want to learn. And if this is new, I would pick a simple song that doesn't have too many chords. So let's say something with 3 chords or 4 chords. There are like a billion songs out there that only have a few chords. And then I would learn the songs or the chords for the song that you want to play. And so you know, for this particular one, I would learn, you know, just those 3 chords, and then I would work on those a lot. And then I might pick up a different song, and then there might be some more chords that I need to learn, and then I'd add those to my knowledge base, right? And go from there. But I think that that's a whole different discussion, and perhaps a different video that I'll have to do at some point. But in general, that's how I would approach it. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you.